Hey guys, Charlie Hustle here. I'd like to talk to you about a new product that I just got. It is a LaCie D2 Quadra 1TB hard drive, and I'm going to be hooking this up to my iMac. I had a little bit of trouble in finding a hard drive that would go well with my iMac. I purchased a Seagate GoFlex, and it didn't work out. What would happen is it would go into sleep mode, it wouldn't wake up, and end up crashing my hard drive. So as we're doing the unboxing here, and once we get it hooked up and running, I'll talk to you a little bit more about what you need to think about when purchasing a hard drive and what you need to look at. So here we go with the unboxing. You can see here my son did accidentally get into this, tore this label off, but that's no big deal, right? The reason I picked this hard drive is A, because it had good reviews, and B, because it had Firewire 800 support. The iMac that I have supports both Firewire and USB 2.0. You can see here on this little chart that they included, the USB 2.0 is looking at about 30 megabytes per second, whereas the Firewire, 35 actually, I'm sorry, the Firewire 800 is at 85 megabytes a second. Now this was important to me because I plan on using this as a regular service hard drive. There's two ways that you can use a hard drive. You can put active files on there that you're going to be using and working with, or you could just use it as mass storage where you're just going to dump files and keep them there for a long time and access them on a not so regular basis. But I plan on moving my whole entire iTunes library over to this hard drive and using it, so it's going to be accessed frequently. So speed of data transition is important to me. The other thing that's important in that is your RPMs. This is how fast the hard drive spins. This is 7200. That's pretty good as far as hard drives go. That's what you want to be looking for if you're going to be using this on a everyday access basis. So let's get on with the unboxing. Thank you, Jack, for the help in getting that off of there. Alright, we have some instructions. Up, it is recycled, thank you. Oh, by the way, I did notice this. LaCie, although as French as they sound, says assembled in the US. So thanks guys for supporting the US workers, and we appreciate it. Recycled, cool. Up, follow directions, awesome. We'll pull this thing out. Got a nice little jigsaw puzzle. You know, it's not Apple quality of boxing, but hey, we'll do. What's inside that counts, right? So I can only assume this is cables, directions, etc. And this is the product itself, the hard drive itself. Pretty cool. It has fins and all that sort of thing, I guess, for heat sinking, and this neat little blue button which can do all sorts of fun things that we'll learn about later. On the back, on off switch, very nice. We've got two Firewire ports, USB 3.0 and eSATA, another cabling system that is not very well supported by Apple at this time, at least not with the iMac, so I'm not going to worry about that. Looks like there's a recessed lock switch, and then as well as the power. For some reason this reminds me of Space Odyssey 2001. I'm not sure why, but pretty cool nonetheless. As long as it doesn't start talking back to me and not doing what I said, we'll have a wonderful relationship. Alright, we got a Allen key. Go into this bag here first. Nice branding on their plastic bag, not too shabby. So this would be the base plate, give you a little bit more stability. I suppose you can put it on either side. There's also a nifty little rack that you can purchase from LaCie that holds multiple units. So if you expand beyond just one, you can stack these up in a nice little concise, well-designed fashion. I gotta say, out of all the hard drives that I've seen out there, LaCie seems to pay the most attention to design. Here's my trackpad. It does look nice next to the Apple stuff. However, their shade of gray is a little bit off. I'm not gonna nitpick. I'm probably going to put it in back of my computer someplace out of sight. Don't really need to deal with that. Power adapter. Looks like it's ready and prepared for different countries and areas power devices, so that's cool. That's good thinking. This is the SATA cable, which we'll be not using. Looks pretty cool though. And this is your USB 3.0. Not sure if that's backward compatible to USB 2.0, but I don't really care. And then we have your Firewire, which is what I'm looking for. Some limited warranty information. Quick install guide that doesn't look very quick, but we'll go through that. Some rubbery awesomeness. And that's about it. So I am going to pause the recording here, and we'll come back together. And once we have this hooked up, and I'll let you know how it's doing. We'll run a couple files and see what's going on. Something. You have two options with how you lay out this unit. First, and the most popular that you see in the advertisement, is the vertical. Comes with this base plate. It has some Allen key screws on the bottom that loosens this rail. If you loosen that rail, then you'll be able to slide it in the bottom, take the provided Allen key, and tighten accordingly until it's nice and stuck and provides you with a good base. However, that is not how I would like to use this. What I'm going to do is lay it flat. In order to do that, they provided these nice little rubber rails. They don't look like much, but they do a good job. And as the directions say, what you want to do is just press them into the second groove. Sorry about that. Second groove here on each side of the hard drive, and then that'll give you a nice little rubber footing for it to sit on your desk. This way the unit will be able to sit basically right underneath my my iMac and be nice and out of the way. I'll have access to the button, which has some handy shortcuts and things that you can do with that, and also be able to see the status of it, not be hidden in the back with all the cables and all that. So it's been about 8 hours since I first installed the hard drive. I've had an opportunity to transfer over about 300 gigabytes off of my hard drive. The transfer went great. It was about twice as fast as what I experienced previously with USB 2.0, so I was very happy about the choice to go with Firewire. However, I did have a hang up right after transferring everything over. The unit fell asleep, and when I went to access the data on the drive, it wouldn't wake back up. This is the same issue that I had with the Seagate. Fortunately, I had read online prior to buying this unit that some of the older units needed a firmware update in order to properly function with OS X. So I went to the LaCie website and looked up the model, downloaded the new firmware, installed it. The install was a little bit funny. It was a Unix-based thing that just prompted you yes or no and this and that. It wasn't as clean as it could have been. They could have put a little bit more effort into doing a full-blown executable though, but it worked. It worked great. And since then, it's been performing flawlessly. I have my entire iTunes library on there, and everything accesses as quick as it did just off the built-in hard drive, so I couldn't be happier. Another thing to note is this hard drive runs very, very quiet, something that I had a concern about and looked at reviews. Some of the Seagates and Western Digitals out there have been known to be very loud, and as you can tell, I do a good bit of audio recording here at my computer, so noise was a factor. I can report that this is very quiet. I can barely hear it at all, so I'm very glad about that. In conclusion, the LaCie D2 Quadra 1 terabyte is recommended by me. I suggest this. As far as the 1 terabyte, I say go low, because memory and space is just getting cheaper and cheaper as the day goes on. So if you need less than 1 terabyte now, get 1 terabyte. Probably by the time you need to expand again, it'll be even cheaper to get 2 down the road. So go get it. I believe you can get this at Best Buy, Apple.com, Amazon.com. Go ahead and find it. And please, if you would, take some time. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comments, either a like or dislike, I don't care, whatever. Just give me some feedback. I got a lot of stuff coming in from Amazon that I just ordered, and I plan on doing a bunch of these videos. So your feedback would really help me provide content that people can use. So thanks for listening, and it's been fun.